Welcome to the Guitar Resource Podcast, practice topics for the beginning and intermediate guitarist. Hello, and welcome to this episode. Today we're going to continue talking about strumming, and we'll talk about strumming triplets. And this can also be applied to strumming in 6/8 time. So let's use E minor as our example chord, because that's kind of an easy thing to grab. So we're going to focus on the strumming hand this time. So if you aren't familiar with this chord, let's just put the second finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and the 3rd finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Okay, and we can strum all strings. So it's a good chord to use because we can use every string and practice the right hand. So we've talked about 8th notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and talked about 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a. So now let's talk a little bit about triplets. So the one interesting thing about the triplet is that since we are dividing things into 3, we end up reversing our pattern every 3 times that we strum. So beat 1, for example, you'll have a down, up, down, and then beat 2, you'll have an up, down, up. So with a triplet, we're dividing the beat into 3 parts. So we have triplet, that's for beat 1, and then beat 2, triplet, and then it writes itself again on beat 3. And you can continue on like that. And I mentioned before that you could think about 6/8 time as well. So then you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then it would you would end up on the downstroke again on 1. Okay, so hopefully that makes some sense. So let's just compare it to the 8th note. So if we have 8th notes, we have 1 and 2 and so when we get to 2, we're already on the down again. So we just repeat the same pattern, 1 and 2 and. So if we're dividing the beat into 3 parts, then we have triplet, triplet. So that's 1, 2. And notice when I said 2, my hand is coming up. So a couple things just to keep in mind. Let's try to keep it so that the hand doesn't change too much in its and how it's relating to the strings from down to up. So try to avoid this kind of thing where the hand is angled to compensate for the pick. So what we can do is just take the pick and have it at a slight angle when it hits the string. So that way it glides over nicely. And then the hand can stay about the same going down and up. Okay, well let's try playing about 4 beats or 1 measure with triplets. So I'll play one time and then we can try it out together. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So notice that 1 starts with a down, 2 starts with an up, 3 starts with down, and 4 starts with up. Okay, so it writes itself back to the beginning of the rotation every 2 beats. Well, let's see if we can try it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, Very good. So now when you're playing, well, why don't we try 6/8 before we move on? So I'll demonstrate first. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then let's try it out together. I'll slow it down a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's go back to thinking about the triplet again. So if you're confused at all about how this works, just send me an email or a comment. I can try to help you out. So let's try playing down. Let's miss every other one, just kind of as a practice thing to do. So we'll play down, down, so down. So we'll have triplet, 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 triplet. So we're thinking about every other one. And then let's try the opposite. So triplet, 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 triplet. Okay, so just that's kind of an interesting thing that we can try out there. Now, we try this out with some other chords here. Why don't we try it with the G chord? So again, we have all the strings here. So let's try just kind of recapping, and we'll just try the same examples with the G chord. So beat 1, we have down, up, down. Beat 2, up, down, up, and then we're repeating. So let's try it once together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so with triplets or 6/8 time, and then another thing that we can think about is maybe we're playing eighth notes. And maybe for a segment of time, we want to play a triplet. So let's see how that kind of works and fit that together as an exercise. So I'll demonstrate one time first here. So for one measure, I'm going to play eighth notes, and then the next measure, I'm going to play the triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that time I actually played down on all of the eighth notes. So when I tried down, up, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and triplet, 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 triplet. Okay, so there I'm kind of doubling up on the triplets. So anyway, the basic takeaway on this is to try to think about how when you go down and you come back up, that you're reversing every other time. So down, up, down, and then up, down, up. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if you do have a comment or question, please leave one below. And keep in mind, you can always reach me at guitar-resource.com, and you can find me at, follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Guitar Resource podcast. Be sure to rate and subscribe. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.